This episode of the Two Droids podcast is proudly brought to you by Who Clothing.
Two droids and no questions asked.
Hello and welcome back to the Two Droids No Questions Asked podcast, your one-stop shop for all the latest pop culture, movie, TV and comic book news. I'm today, of course, as always, joined by my ever faithful co-host, Simo. How are you today, Simo?
Really good, actually.
Yeah.
I'll tell you for why.
Oh.
We've been trying to lose a bit of weight.
Well.
And we finally got...
You have.
Two abs. There's two abs showing. We're having a fucking party,
there, huh?
You know. It could just be the lighting in my room, but, people have mentioned it.
Yeah. Hey, take what you can get, bro.
Hell yeah.
You look great. You're looking fantastic.
Oh, fuck it, I know.
Wow. It's when you meant to return the compliment, but we'll move on.
Oh, to be fair, my co-host Ryan has got a fucking sick permed mullet going right now.
Oh yeah, right, dude.
He's fucking sick. He's
it's pretty
I've
good.
actually just had to cut mine off, so I'm very sad, and I'm just gonna live through Ryan with his permed mullet.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, Simo, you wouldn't be the only one. Let me tell you that. A bit of an insight into my work life there. You are definitely not the only one.
Yeah, and oh my god, I've just realised a podcast that we listen to. They always talk about someone they know that the other person doesn't really like that much. And
yeah.
This is it.
We'll call him my colleague that you hate.
yeah, the colleague I hate.
Yeah, well, speaking of hating things, Simo, we're a bit late on this one. We meant to record a bit earlier, but we've been busy. You've been working on your abs. I've been getting my hair permed.
Yeah, I think it's more ab, if I'm being honest. I think it's more singular.
Well, we'll call it abs.
Yeah, why not, eh?
Yeah. But
Or
speaking of
Abai.
hating things, today we're going to be reviewing Madam Web.
I can't wait to shit all over this movie.
The latest entrance to the SPUMM universe.
It's going right at you. It was dreadful, wasn't it? It was... We'll get into it later, but...
It's not good.
I don't think any... I've been seeing some people... They've got to be trolling, like they did with Morbius. Because on the comments, I keep seeing... Either that or Sony are paying... there's like companies you can get like abroad, isn't there? That like will post things for you on social media.
Yeah,
so they either pay people to say it's a good movie on the comment sections, or people are trolling.
I think it's.
I think it's troll.
I
think it's the trolling.
It's getting the Morbius treatment, I think.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the effort that goes into the meme and the culture. But
yeah, definitely.
I think this is. It's tricking Sony into thinking that these are good and that people are enjoying
they're making.
These.
I don't know how much this is made, but like they seem to make
not a lot.
Decent. Like they seem to make some enough to clearly make another one.
Yeah.
So
I know Bob Marley's made more at the box office, the Bob Marley movie, than Madam Web.
If you to be fair, I'm going to speak a little bit about Bob Marley later. Not the person, the movie. And if and like, to be fair, I watched them within the same like 7 days, and watching them two in close proximity makes one of them look Oscar worthy, and one of them look like it was put on by the local town hall.
Yeah.
Bad.
It wasn't great. Just as the final thing on Madam Web until we get in there, I don't know if you saw the story, but people had booked like tickets for it on opening day, and then obviously the press embargo had come down a few days beforehand, and like movie theaters could just see people actively refunding the tickets like, as the reviews were coming out.
Well, we wanted to make it a bit more exciting, didn't we? So we watched it in 4D, and also Cinema would have been doing like free uplifts for members. So we decided to watch it in 4D to at least have a little bit of excitement, but they just didn't realise when to do the 4D.
No. Well, I don't know if it was a case of they didn't realise or there was just that little opportunity to use it. We'll get into it later on. There are time codes in the description. We'll be doing spoiler free and then spoilers. So if for some reason you haven't seen Madam Web and you want to, number one, have you got rocks in your head? And number two, check out the time codes down below. Skip the spoilers, come back after, hear what we've got to say once you've seen the movie. Before that, however, we're going to dive into the latest news and trailers of the week. Now, we're recording this a bit later than we normally would, so there's a bit of a choppy news segment. Some that might be a bit older, some that's like today news that's come out as we're recording. So bear with us on that. So yeah, we're going to start with your weekly Nerdy News Bulletin, hot off the press. Ooh, it is hot, let me tell you.
Well, that's because some of it's from today, that's why.
Well, that'll be why, mate. Ooh, yeah, definitely.
Just come off the press. Watch it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Best believe it is hot. So, without further ado, Simo, shall we dive into the Weekly Bugle?
Oh, let's do it.
Now, Simo, as a man,
yes,
there's been some super news that has come out
today. Yeah. Is it Sam Sulek in a movie? Is it finally it? Oh.
Yeah, well, you see, Simo, the answer was in the statement. It's Superman news.
What?
Baby.
Oh,
So we have got our first official look at the Superman logo for the upcoming reboot
if you didn't know,
the DCU.
It's an S.
It is.
So,
although some people aren't very happy about it because it's not like a complete S.
No, it's not. It's not.
But I like it. I think it looks good.
I swear it looks slightly different on the photo that's the leaked photo from him on set. I swear it looks slightly different on that outfit than what it actually does on the photo that was shown.
Yeah, it looks better on the outfit.
But also, why has he copied the way that Zack Snyder showed off the logo?
But then I also think when it comes to like when you have a set lore character, there's only certain so many ways you could have done it without it.
Well, I think they could have just shown the entire suit, which to me just says that they haven't decided fully how it's going to look yet.
Yeah. Well, we have seen set photos, as you say.
Yeah.
Trunks are back.
Trunks look sick.
I love the trunks.
The trunks look sick, but the cape is way too short.
Yeah. Part of me wonders whether they're going to do CGI on the cape, which they did with they did that with like the Snyderverse stuff. Like all the capes in that was CGI. But again, I think they have like a reference cape, which could be why it's smaller. So they like wear a reference cape and then CGI over it. But it does it's like down to like waist level.
It just looks really shit, if I'm being honest. So I'm praying it's not. It might grow on me. I might be like, hell yes, the small cape. But like, I swear he hasn't had a short cape for like over 60 years or some shit like that.
No.
So it's a weird one to go back to.
It makes it look a bit goofy, I think.
I mean, the costume, it looks camp as hell. It's
but I love it.
But I'm here for it. Yeah,
I think it looks great.
Now
and David Corenswet looks great as well.
It looks more like a cape that Supergirl should wear. Yeah,
well, she does wear a shorter cape.
So I'm just like, maybe he's just accidentally put the wrong cape on. You know, maybe he's on the way out of the sanctum, and he's just gone. Oh shit! Which one? I'll just wear that one.
Yeah, just grab the first one.
Yeah, it's just like,
we'll know when Millie Alcock turns up as Supergirl and her cape's dragging 3 feet on the floor behind her.
It's like, you know, have you seen the TikTok trend when it's like, guess whose outfit it is? It's like a guy's wearing like a big jacket, and all of a sudden he's wearing a very tight fucking like skirt. That's what it is. That's what it is.
But no, I think the suit looks great. Obviously, bar the cape is a bit short.
Yeah.
But other news is that they've officially changed the title from Superman Legacy to just Superman.
Okay.
Yeah. Which at first I was a bit, is there not already just Superman? But then the Richard Donner movies, it's called like Superman the movie.
Okay, so they can say Superman.
Yeah, it's crazy we've got this long without there being a movie just called Superman. So
yeah, I wonder if that. So Superman Legacy says to me that he's been around for a little while, and like, you know, he's built up an image of himself and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't want to go from that. Maybe they want to have him a bit young, bit closer.
Unless it's meant to be, because I read that he's been heavily inspired by like the All-Star Superman comic.
Yeah.
Which is meant to be like peak. Like when you think of all the traditional tropes of the Superman character, like that's what he is, you know, like pulling cats out of trees and stuff like that. So I wonder if the legacy aspect is more that, and this is like the stereotypical version of Superman, I guess, through his legacy.
Yeah, I get
but
you.
now it's not that. I guess it's redundant. But
So
I'm really excited for this.
I've got there's only one thing that's kind of like struck me this week that I've also kind of been a bit like, I really hope this isn't true. So there's a rumor going around that the main protagonist, which it doesn't sound true whatsoever, because the main protagonist of a Superman movie is going to be Superman, surely.
Right.
But someone's saying that Lois Lane's going to have a very, very, very big part, and I'm like, that's fine, okay.
You'd expect that.
But I'm also kind of like, I don't want it to have a big part. It's a Superman movie, and we know we're gonna have Supergirl in it. We're gonna have Hawk Girl in it. Like, I don't want
Guy Gardner.
She's just like,
he's gonna be.
It's just This is the one thing that I didn't like about the Superman movies, the most recent ones, was when it's like you have a Superman doing Superman action, and then it's just Lois Lane. Just, I'm a reporter. Oh, yeah, we know. Cool. Like, brilliant. And then Spider-Man games, brilliant example. Whenever you go to an MJ mission, and you're just like, I'm here for Superman. I'm not. I get there needs to be a little bit of like,
I think
for the world.
There's a way to do it properly. I think, and I think Lois Lane should almost be more like the heart of the movie. If Superman's the soul of the movie, she needs to be like the sort of the emotional driver, I suppose, in that.
Yeah.
But then it also depends sort of where this is set, because if this is an origin story, then absolutely not, because that's Jonathan Kent's role, is that he's the emotional.
I don't think this would be an origin story.
No, I feel like
we had one like 10 years ago, and it's DC, and it's the DC reboot. So I don't think they've been the TV show. There's been absolutely loads in the past.
TV shows now.
Yeah. So I don't think they'll. And I think everyone knows it, and you don't need to know it. I don't. The superhero trope of having to have an origin movie. Yeah, I think it's a bit dead.
And I think as well, I think you can introduce
they work for some
Superman,
characters,
and then
not have one.
I think there's no way they're not going to do a Supergirl movie as well. Which with Millie Alcock as Supergirl, I'm really excited to see that. I love Millie Alcock.
Yeah.
Call me. But I think you could sort of tell Superman's origin through that, if that makes sense. Like, without him needing his dedicated movie. Whereas you can have 20 minutes at the start of the Supergirl one, where you see them put little baby Clark Kent in a pod, and then you see them put, is it Clara or Kara in a pod?
Yeah.
I think you can tell them both at the same time. It's just a case of when you do it.
Do you know what?
But I feel like it's more valuable to Supergirl than it is to Superman.
I want Crypto.
Yeah, the space dog.
I want the dog. I want the dog in this. Like, it doesn't have to be a big part. I just want the dog in it.
If anyone's going to do it, it'll be James Gunn.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any way to make Cosmo work in Guardians. But yeah, the good dog, bad dog storyline in Guardians had me on edge more than any of the Rocket stuff. Say that she's a good dog, man.
It just calls to me. I just want I just want him. I just want him in it, and I feel like it could easily be done. And I feel like people are just like, oh yeah, he doesn't even have to. It could literally just be like, like when he did Guardians, where he did Howard the Duck, where it's just like any little end credit scene where it's just him just says something, winks the camera, and then fires off, and it's just like a little, on the end of cartoons where like the camera like shrinks. They could just do that, like a little end credit scene or something.
If we're ever gonna get it, James Gunn will do it. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, Superman looks good. David Corenswet looks fantastic. He's fucking huge. He's really big. And the hair, I like the Superman hair. It's good. Obviously, it's not as cool as my new hair. Why would I do that, Simon? My hair looks great right now.
Yeah, but I think you'd look really cool with the little curl he has.
Yeah. Maybe on my next one. Maybe on the next haircut. We'll see how we do.
Do we know if this is going to be set in modern day yet, or if it's going to be like back in the day?
I'm assuming it's going to be modern day, because Superman's going to be the linchpin, isn't he, of this new DCU?
Do you know what I kind of want it to be? I kind of want it to be like it's set in the old, like in the, when the comics were first set.
Yeah.
I kind of want it to be like back then, and just have it all just done back then. I think it'd be really cool.
But then it's, do you make Superman racist? I think there's no way they'd do that. To
be fair, how the hell was Superman not blonde-haired, blue-eyed back in the day when he was made?
Good question.
How? Like, the bloke's literally like the peak. Like, well, Homelander's the perfect.
Whoa. What you trying to say?
Oh, blonde hair. I'm blonde hair and blue eyed, and I'm the peak of physical fitness, bro. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, hang on. I've just had something from my art school application.
Yep, moving on before we get flagged. So, also this week, we have got our first look at the reboot of The Crow. So, for those of you that aren't aware, The Crow, I think people have been scared to touch The Crow for a while. Quite famous instance where Brandon Lee, son of Bruce Lee, played The Crow and actually died while filming it. I think since then, it's been in development hell. Like Jason Momoa was going to be The Crow.
I'd like that, to be fair. I think that'd be.
Yeah,
I think that'd be I think that'd be a good role for him.
But the new Crow is going to be Bill Skarsgård.
Wait, hang on. Is it not Machine Gun Kelly? I swear in that trailer, it's Machine Gun Kelly. I swear to Christ it is.
A lot, yeah. It looks like a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's the tattoos.
I don't know if I like the look.
Oh,
if I'm being honest, I think I like the old Crow look. I don't know if I like. But to be fair, I'm not a big Crow fan. If I'm being honest, so
no.
I'm not really too bothered. I'm not too bothered.
I think if it was that look on anyone else, I don't think I'd like it as much. But I know
Jared Leto.
Yeah, I was literally just gonna say, I'm surprised Jared Leto hasn't got his grimy little paws in this. But the fact it's Bill Skarsgård, full well he's going to be incredible in this role.
I love Skarsgårds in anything. They eat up and do the best roles. I recently watched Dune last night again. Skarsgård. Generation Kill TV series. It's got Skarsgård in it.
Yeah.
Skarsgård. Northman.
Andor.
Skarsgård. Andor.
Tarzan.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
They just go. They're in everything.
I don't know what he fed those kids while they were growing up, but
he's also is he not in Mamma Mia as well?
Yeah, he's Bill in Mamma Mia.
Yeah, I know that aren't they two sides of the family? Is that not
in
what
Mamma
it is?
Mia?
No, as in the Skarsgård family. So when you've got all the different Skarsgårds, some of them I don't know which ones are actually direct descendants of who. I don't know how but they're all just fucking brilliant.
There's definitely
just put them in everything.
Brothers. Yeah,
just put them in everything.
They're great.
Put them in everything.
Yeah, they are so good.
Except for Godzilla, that one. Godzilla versus Kong. I'm just he just wants a cash grab here, doesn't he?
Speaking of Godzilla and Kong, this isn't. I haven't planned to include this bit, but it's something I want to just touch on quickly.
A little bonus extra for you.
There's been a clip released literally this evening from the upcoming Godzilla versus Kong movie, and the clip where they're running next to each other, and people are, oh, it's corny, it's goofy, it's like Power Rangers. Well, these people aren't going to be very happy because this clip shows they're running.
Power Rangers?
No.
Oh.
Arguably, I think better than that, but people think worse. So they're running. Kong then jumps and holds onto Godzilla's back and rides him. Rides him side saddle.
Oh, see, you know what I thought he was going to say?
Just keeps running. I thought
you was going to say I thought he was going to say he jumps forward and then grabs him and throws Godzilla forward, slingshots him, and then maybe Godzilla then does the same with his tail and slingshots him.
Yeah,
and just,
not quite that. It's just
sure that can't be comfortable. He's got Kong spines everywhere.
Yeah, but that's what he grabs onto. That's his,
also I just want to say,
point.
Right, Godzilla, yeah, he's a primate. Where's his dong?
I think Kong's a primate.
That's what I meant. Sorry, where's his dong?
Oh, he's probably sheathed up somewhere.
All I'm saying is, be brave. Show
maybe, because he's meant to be the last Kong. Maybe that's a mutation thing.
No, be brave.
Use it.
Be brave. Show it. Be brave. Or comment on it. Just have someone comment how he looks like
Ken.
Ken.
See it now. The next standalone Kong movie. Kong
Dong.
Hangs Dong.
Kong versus Dong.
Versus Dong. Well, what's he doing to himself?
Mutilating it, clearly.
It's just abuse at that point. Anyway, I hope
and then you can have a corny moment where he could use it as a helicopter to fly, and then he can pick Godzilla up.
You know what? We are 2 news stories in. I really hope we can get through without actually being arrested. Because so far, we're 2 for 2. And Kong Dong isn't even related to the crow, which we've just been talking about.
Skarsgård, brilliant. He's gonna smash it. I just don't know about the look.
He could play Kong Dong. He's versatile.
See, I feel like old Skarsgård would be better as playing the Dong. From how he looks in Dune, I feel like he's more suited to being
I
Kong
feel
Dong.
like you cast him as the Dong, then you have just 2 of the other Skarsgård as the boss. Yeah. Make it a family. No, that's no. Moving on. Marvel news. We have Marvel news, specifically Kevin Feige. Now, I'd like for to just have a moment of silence for Kevin Feige, this very, very wealthy man who has arguably, I would say, one of the best jobs in the world, which is just planning superhero movies. Is apparently struggling. He's apparently spread a bit too thin. Oh,
I don't know why,
Kevin.
but just the title Kevin Feige reportedly spread too thin just makes me laugh.
That's like how the press have reported it, by the way. That's the official word.
It just makes me laugh. It's just like Kevin Feige spread too thin. I'm just like, the things in my head I'm imagining of Kevin Feige being spread too thin. Okay,
let's stop it right there again before we get flagged on this news story. So this is all due to the fact that, the MCU's in turmoil, as we've covered previously. If you don't know what's going on, go back, listen to the back catalogue. There's all sorts of stuff we've discussed. But apparently he's struggling keeping all the many spinning plates of the MCU going. And the big sort of pressure from this is from our friends at Sony.
We love them.
Yeah, who are apparently putting pressure on Marvel to release Spider-Man 4 next year. There is no script.
Filming it.
No, there is no script. There is no director assigned. And Sony want to get it out for summer next year.
No,
there's no script.
That's not feasible.
Director.
It's not feasible at all.
So this is apparently putting a lot of pressure on Kevin Feige. But I like to think that when it's like Kevin Feige under pressure, like there's too many projects going on, it's not the managing the products, it's the changing all the baseball caps. So like he's sat in the Spider-Man meeting, he has a Spider-Man hat on. He goes into a Blade meeting, he has to put a Blade hat on. He's just got like a backpack with like 60 different baseball caps in. And he's there between meetings, rummaging around, trying to find which one he needs.
See, I don't think he goes into the meetings. I feel like he's sat in a little orb, and then everyone comes in, and as he's coming in, he has a little thing that comes down and puts a different cap on for him, like Darth Vader. Yeah. So he's like sat there, and it'd be like, ooh. What's the name now from Sony? Just like she comes in. He's just putting on a new cap. You can see his mutilated bald head.
Mutilated.
Like Darth Vader.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige's actually a robot. I'm pretty sure he's a robot. That's where I saw that somewhere.
Do you know when
he's a machine?
Do you know when you have like a Lego figure with a hat on, but then it's like been on there for years, and you try and pull the hat off, and the head comes off.
Yeah.
I think it's like that. Like the Kevin Feige robot doesn't change hats; it has different heads.
Do you reckon it's also like last year he was probably really happy, like, oh, movies are doing well. Now he's spread too thin. Do you reckon someone just spun his head round and now it's a sad face?
Yeah, it must be. Like the old robots. It's got one on the front, one on the back.
Oh, like the robots from Doctor Who when they spin around. Oh, hell yeah, that's pretty cool.
Have we just uncovered a conspiracy?
Maybe we have.
What a podcast so far, by the way.
Hell yeah.
We've made questionable references. We've cast King Kong's genitalia, and now we've unmasked. King Kong's dong. Yeah. We've unmasked
King Dong.
King
Dong.
King Dong.
Hell yeah.
That excited you way too much to say we're talking about a gorilla's penis.
Just whatever you do, just Google that, because I swear it's already a movie. You just search King Dong.
Yeah. We're going to do a movie commentary on it next week. So I do feel bad for Kevin Feige on this.
I don't,
but only because like if it's good or if it's bad, it's his fault. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if he's got all this going on, I wonder actually how much control he actually has at the moment.
Well, I mean, with the Spider-Man one, nothing. Like no. if they want to release a movie next year, they can push that. Like, they can easily just back it, like pull away from a deal and be like, well, fine, we want it next year. If you're not doing that, we'll do our
with the Blade situation, where it's all, you know, they're on like the 5th script, and Mahershala Ali wants to leave and all this. It's like, well, if you're in charge, how have you let it get to this point already? Like,
to be fair though, they could just do what they did for Man and Web and just use AI.
Yeah, true.
So why not?
They could do that. Although, you know what? I hope they don't.
To be fair though, I feel like you could, with the amount of Spider-Man material out there, you could easily pull a script. You could pull a script. The script I don't think would be. It's the filming. The filming as well would take forever.
From what I understand, Sony wants to go in a completely different route than what Marvel want to do. So Sony want to bring Toby and Andrew back with Tom Holland and do a whole other multiversal story.
No, don't do that.
Marvel and Kevin Feige want to do the Kingpin, Mayor of New York.
That's what we want.
I think, we speak for pretty much everyone when we say that's the better option.
We've had that. Like, if you're going to do an Andrew or a Toby movie, do your own. Like, do your own movie with them, like, carrying on their story.
Yeah. And
leave the MCU one to the MCU. Like,
I know you know it, but for those of you that don't know, there's a fantastic rival podcast and YouTuber called Mr. Sunday Movies, who does a series called Caravan of Garbage, where it's basically just like a movie reviewing thing, and they've just reviewed the Tom Holland's Spider-Man trilogy.
Yes, they have,
and they sum up No Way Home fantastically, where they're like, it was great, it's fantastic. The first time I saw it in the cinema, and
it was an event.
Returns since then. So,
it was an event, wasn't it? Like,
yeah,
we'd all been in lockdown. Like, nothing had really come out. Like, what had we had at that point? We'd not even had Top Gun yet, had we? We just had Dune. I think we just had Dune.
Yeah,
and I think that was like the only big movie we had that wasn't like straight to streaming. I think Dune was straight to streaming as well. So yeah, I think that was like the first movie that was like big, that was cinema. You had to watch it in the cinema, and the hype for it was massive, and that's what it was. But like,
I mean, it just sums up Sony's approach perfectly, in that it's just
we'll
get it out.
Sum up their approach.
We don't care,
minute, aren't we?
Yeah,
Jesus.
Just get the content out. We don't care what it is. Use AI to write the script. It's fine. And then we'll just take the payday.
Sony Animation are out there cooking hard.
Yeah.
And then, like, the live action department are just like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Fuck knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I suppose that's what happens when you try to build a universe of characters without the core aspect that unites them all, I suppose.
I also love the fact that they haven't just made ones with the main roster of villains for Spider-Man as well. Like, the ones that everyone knows that would... I mean, Kraven, and Venom, fair. But, like, Madam Web, that's very niche for like normal audiences. Yeah. Like if you were we're gonna do a Green Goblin movie, people would be like, oh, okay, or we're gonna do a
Spider-Man.
It's like,
you chose the way of the hero. So I've been practicing that impression all week. I've been driving my housemates mad.
To be fair, your schizophrenia has got to be helping. You haven't got any roommates.
Shit, yeah. I've just been like running around the house. You chose the way of the hero.
Can Spider-Man come out of play?
Yeah. The people of this city loved you for a time. Anyway.
Coward! We have a new world to conquer.
Let's move on before we... before I and the voices in my head descend into anarchy and start throwing pumpkin-shaped bombs around the living room.
I am just a voice inside your head.
Who said that? I'm looking around. There's no one here.
Must have been the wind.
Yeah. Scary. Now, Simo.
Yes.
If you really exist. New Marvel news.
I'm more of a concept than real, more of an idea.
As a symbol, you can't be corrupted, right? Is that what
exactly, yeah.
Okay, I get it. I see it. I think
my symbol is the old S that everyone used to draw in the early 90s. That's my symbol. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I still draw that in my notebook at work.
Oh, I should have done that on this. I should have done. There's a tattoo, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. But there's an
Tell
S
them
in
what it is.
No.
Tell them what it is.
It may be the word Simo. Like I said, I'm a symbol.
In case you forget your name.
Yeah.
Hey, does that count as ID?
I guess, yeah. I mean, who else would it be? It's clearly Simo. Like, no, it's actually. So I might just say it's someone else's name. But yeah, I should have done. I mean, it's close. If you look, it's kind of close to that S.
I'm going to draw an N on it one time, so it looks like you've just got a guy called Simon tattooed on your arm.
Right. I was going to say what Nemo. It's like the fuck's Nemo.
Well, no, the S would still be there. So
yeah, no. I thought for some reason I just thought you were going to put the N on the front. I'm like, or Nisimo.
Not really, no.
Like some Samoan name.
Christ. So the next piece of news, we'll brush over it quite quickly because this is nothing new. Mark Ruffalo, as always, has been asked about when a Hulk solo movie is coming. And he's just said, he's just said it's probably unlikely. He's then sort of tried to cover his back and be like, hey, CGI is really expensive, you know. I think we're a bit priced out on this one. It's like, well, no, because
you've got a model. Like,
the rights for your character don't belong to Marvel, which is why we still haven't got one.
I like the solo movie we have got. If I'm being honest, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I think it's a good movie.
To be honest,
yeah, I really like that movie, and I like the way that I like the fact that in the original phase, each movie had its own vibe. And it was like when they're trying to figure out the meta, but then they all just went, fuck it, let's just do Iron Man.
I mean, I saw Hulk before I saw Iron Man, and immediately was like, this is fucking sick.
It's like, who's that guy at the end?
Yeah. Well, why is he wearing high heels?
That was, like, I was not a comic book fan as a kid. Like,
no.
So, like, those movies were like...
that was what sort of got me into, like, comic book culture, I suppose.
Yeah, it is.
When those movies came out. I mean, I was always a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Star Wars is the bread and butter. Like, I was watch any movie you'd throw at me, but like, I didn't. The idea of, you know, connected universe and shit like that wasn't a thing back in the day when we were kids. That wasn't a thing. This is new, you know.
Way back when.
Yeah, you know, we didn't have these cameos and all this.
No.
If we did have a cameo, it was a celebrity in a sitcom, and everyone would go, "Wow!"
Yeah.
So you know,
that was about it. So, no Hulk solo movie. But,
wow. I'm not actually that bothered, if I'm being honest.
No. Well, speaking of The Incredible Hulk, the MCU solo Hulk movie, the leader, who is Mr. Blue in that movie, is returning for Captain America: Civil War. So he's not been
he'd
seen
be good as
since.
Playing Kong Dong, you know, with the head that he's got. He'd be perfect. It's veiny.
So he's not been seen in universe since 2008. But the actor's returning. Tim Blake Nelson is coming back and said it's going to be a more comic accurate look. Because speaking of head veins, you saw him sort of mutating, but you never saw him in his like true form.
He just looked like an incel, didn't he? Is what he looked like.
Yeah. Do you know? I only found out what incel. Well, I knew what an incel was, but I only found out that it like stands for something this week.
What does it stand for? Is it painstakingly obvious?
It's involuntary celibate.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Right. No, I hate to break this to you. If you're an incel, it's not involuntary, mate.
No.
Oh no, sorry, involuntary. No. So voluntary.
Yeah. No.
Or involuntary.
Incel. So
involuntary. Actually, no. Yeah, sorry. Is it involuntary? Yeah. You're right. You're right on that one, boys. Yeah.
And it makes so much sense. But I also think, as an insult, what a way better word than saying incel. As in, like, you're involuntarily celibate is way much better.
Didn't they just call? Yeah, just say you get no bitches. Like.
Yeah.
Also, I'm really sorry for using that word. That's very.
Yeah, well, you know, bitches is.
I meant dogs.
Bitches is an all-encompassing term now. You know, bitches can be men, women.
Dogs,
trees,
dogs,
and anyone or anything or any person can be bitches nowadays. Yeah, you know. So power to the people.
Except for incels, I'm pretty sure are solely linked to just fat men.
They're not getting anyway, are they? They're not getting any bitches, regardless of what sort of bitches they want. So the leader is going to be in Captain America 4. Now, I'm excited for this, but I'm also really fucking nervous because
Is he going to be what creates Red Hulk?
I'm not sure, to be honest, and I don't think they're sure because they're still reshooting it. They've wrapped filming twice and are still doing reshoots on this, and I just don't understand. When are they going to learn? Like, just write a good script in the first place and execute it, rather than always trying to retroactively fix things, because you only make it worse.
To be fair, I think a few bits have been to do with the political sphere outside in the real world, where some of the stuff that they were going on apparently was very, very on the nose, and was exactly the same as what had just happened in some places in the Middle East.
Oh, okay.
And I think they were like, oh well, we can't do that now because it looks insensitive.
I thought they were going to have loads of people storming the Capitol because Captain America was a black man.
I mean, that might happen. That might happen. Very
accurate.
Yeah, that could happen. Yeah, although I don't think that was why the Capitol riots happened. I think that was because of an incompetent oaf telling people to do it and then going, "It wasn't me."
But then it'd be.
So I mean, the future US president is probably.
It's just worrying that you're probably right.
But hey, some cool shoes though is what it is. Some cool shoes.
Yeah,
they're the best shoes.
He's been arguing with George Clooney.
He's been what?
Yeah, so he accused George Clooney of being a Hollywood elitist, and George Clooney has just ripped him apart.
Why do I feel like George Clooney's like, yeah?
George Clooney was like, I wasn't born like a wealthy man. Like I lived poor until I became a good actor. It was like I used to buy like suit trousers from the charity shop, and I'd cut the bottoms off them to make a tie, so that I could wear it to an interview. You shit in a gold toilet. You live in a big gold building in the middle of like the most expensive city on the planet. Like,
do you know what I'd do? Do you know what I'd do if I was Trump now? I'd pay for just loads of people to just keep drinking and drinking and drinking around George Clooney.
Yeah.
Just loads of just make sure there's alcohol everywhere around him, and then just slowly watch him deteriorate back into an alcoholic. That's what I'd do. One
thing I don't get with Trump. Why does no one make fun of the fact that his name means fart? Like,
does it mean fart in America?
One of the most hated men in the world, and no one calls him Donald Fart.
Is it fart in? Is it called? Do people say you've trumped it in America though?
Probably not. But if you're ever going to adopt it, now's the time.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
Joe Biden needs to say that, and if it ever goes against him, because he's like, people are saying that Joe Biden's worried about debating him because of his, he's a dementia patient.
Yeah.
That's all they need to do is just go, all right, Donald Trump, and then have like a fart sound and then just walk off.
See, I like that we're not biased in terms of commentary here, We'll bully both of them.
Let
us host the debate. That's what I say.
Yeah, we should do it. Yeah, we're two British guys,
we've got no skin in the game.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I think I kind of want Trump because I used to love watching the news.
Oh no. Moving on. So we've got Star Wars news, Simo.
Yeah, hell yeah.
In particular,
I mean, hell no. But
well, yeah, hell no in this case, I think.
Hell no.
In particular, Star Wars game news. So for those of you that weren't aware, EA, Electronic Arts, were developing a bounty hunter inspired game set in the Star Wars universe. So you were going to be playing as a Mandalorian bounty hunter, but not the Mandalorian bounty hunter that we all know and love. You'd have jetpack combat, you'd fight AT-STs, AT-ATs. Like, it wasn't going to be an open world thing, but like mission to mission.
By the way, that is how you call them. It's AT-AT.
Yeah, not at.
Yeah, you fucking losers.
Now, if that sounds like a game you would enjoy, unlucky because they've cancelled it. It's now no longer happening.
The best thing about this is it was literally just announced as well.
Yeah. Like a few minutes
they just went, hell yeah. I think it was like last week it was official. It was like last week. It was like, it's definitely, I mean, there was like leaked stuff ages ago and rumour mill. It was already kind of confirmed, but they went, oh yeah, hell yeah, this is the game we're doing. And then it's, but yeah, there's been so the reason for it they're not the only major studio doing this at the moment.
No. Well, they're making redundancies. They've made like 400 staff redundant.
Just on that, to do with like the video game. So there's a lot of people getting a bit arsey with your EA and your big AAA studios, because like most games now cost like £60 for a game.
Not more.
Yeah, and in those games, half of them you then have to pay for something else to get something good, and to be good at the game you have to buy something else, and then EA is fucking dreadful for it.
EA
with their sports ones, with like Ultimate Team and stuff like that.
They don't do it anymore, do they? They lost.
It's EA FC.
Oh yeah, EAFC.
So it's the same thing. Like it's just constant stuff like that. But then Xbox have laid a load of people off. Sony have laid a lot of people off.
So Sony have shut their London studio, and it's like 300 jobs gone with it.
Arrowhead have just released, which it is encompassing with Sony, but it's its own studio. I've released a new game called Helldivers 2, which is like taking the game world by storm because it's £30. And like it's done by a small studio that clearly cares about the game. Yes, there is a battle pass in there that you can buy with real money, but it doesn't. But it's a PVE, so like even if you've got a different gun, it means fuck all because the people you play against they're AI. But like everything you can easily find the money in game.
Yeah.
And like with the normal like little progression system you have, you don't have to buy it. You can just earn it and then just later on get it. Or you can then you can use the money you get in game on other things in game, or you can save up and then get the premium thing. So like people are like, why aren't you? This is what you need to be doing. Like instead of firing people, make games that like people like and are good, and like aren't just there to milk people. And then people might buy your shit. You wouldn't have to lay loads of people off.
It makes sense.
Yeah, but you know, we're not greedy, money bound people. So
not yet. Subscribe, help us on our way.
Oh yeah, but if you want to donate, I'll say anything.
Yeah, you know,
if you
my
pay
loyalty's as valuable as the highest check. That's all I'll say. Now the final piece of news, Simo, which isn't really news because it's expected at this point. The headline I've written: The Rock keeps being weird. On the last episode,
why is he being weird?
Well,
it doesn't matter why he's being weird. Sorry,
I knew it was coming. I'll just let him get it out.
Yeah.
Know?
What's The Rock been cooking? Hell yeah, nailed it.
Well, it's funny that you're reeling off all these catchphrases, Simo, because soon you might have to pay for the right.
Hell yeah. But has he got that one on there, though?
I didn't. Maybe. Yes, it has, yeah. The Rock has now successfully purchased ownership rights for multiple phrases relating to himself. So he now owns the copyright. Now, I've got them written down here. So I'll reel them off. We've got The Rock, Team Corporate, Rock Nation, which there's a record label called Rock Nation. It's spelt differently, but either way, I'm not sure about that one. Rudy Poo, Candy Ass, Jabroni, If You Smell What The Rock Is Cooking, The Samoan Sensation, The Blue Chipper.
You know, the man from Florida.
Yeah. The People's Champion, The Great One, Know Your Role and Shut Your Mouth, The Rock Just Bring It, The People's Elbow, Rock Bottom, Finally The Rock Has Come Back, It Doesn't Matter! My personal favourite, Rockpocalypse, Project Rock, and The Most Electrifying Man in Sports and Entertainment.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just all his WWE
man.
stuff. But to be fair, so a little bit of more rock stuff. So obviously WrestleMania is next month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is now next month. Yeah, so WrestleMania is next month. So The Rock obviously he's taking a big part in that. He's going to be showing off again. But it's just so I watched a bit of WWE again. You know, I'm keeping in touch because it is getting quite good again. It is getting quite good again. And then like there's a thing called the Bloodline, which is like The Rock and
like
all
Roman
the Samoan
Reigns,
stuff.
isn't it?
Yeah, and like Paul Heyman, which is like he's like the he's the big guy. He comes out. You know, you have in real sports where you have like
Bruce
like Eddie
Buffer
Hearn and stuff like that. So he like came out and he was just like, "Oh, you need to keep The Rock's name out your freaking mouth." to Cody Rhodes, which is like the person who's like getting keyed up to be the next champion.
Yeah,
And he even made a Will Smith reference. He's like, I know it must have been embarrassing because The Rock slapped him on stage. It was like to get Will Smith in front of everyone. He's like, but you need to keep his name out your freaking mouth. It just made me laugh because I could just imagine just The Rock writing that, and he's just like,
I don't know how WWE as an organisation is still standing, honestly. Like,
I do get because it's
Vince McMahon stuff that's come out.
Yes,
over the past
he's
couple
not
of weeks.
been. It's been Triple H that's been running it for the past few years, anyway.
Yeah, isn't
So,
he married to his daughter?
Yeah.
To Vince McMahon's daughter, not his own daughter.
Yeah. Oh well, America could be living.
Who knows? So The Rock continues to be we're going to get doxxed one of these days.
Most likely. It's a comedy podcast. We can say it's on the internet. We can say what we like.
Yeah, loosen up a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll
loosen up a little bit, else I'll be sending Kong's dong towards you.
Yeah, and I live in Finland, so it's fine.
Yeah. They do
Just
really good wings in Finland.
Just put them off the trail. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. He's definitely not from England. Not at all. I'm Scottish, so I think it's you go turn left at Wales.
Oh,
Threw him off this.
Yeah. Good. I'm trying. Like,
throwing him off.
You could, but you'd have to come a certain way.
No, if you're going for us, if they're going for us as the map looks, but going to the scene like idiots, or they'll end up in Ireland.
I live in Finland. I've just watched a lot of Downton Abbey, so I sound like this. That's all.
Hell yeah! That's actually. I think Americans love Downton Abbey, don't they?
Yeah.
That's actually how we all live. So.
Yeah. True. Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah.
Anyway, Simmer, that's it for the news this week. Shall we move on to have a chat about some trailers?
Let's have a chat about some trailers.
Yeah. Well, there's only a couple this week from what I've seen. The first one for the bike riders. I think this looks really cool. We've
Austin
got
Butler.
Yeah, Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, some other people. But
so
this is like the second trailer, so we see a bit more what the actual like story is in this one compared to the first one. And honestly, Tom Hardy's doing like a little accent. I think it looks reminiscent of his like Legend era, like playing a bit of a gangster. Like starts with good intentions, doesn't necessarily end that way. Austin Butler is doing his best Charlie Hunnam in Sons of Anarchy.
To be fair, is it going to be hard to not do that when that was like the biggest biker thing we've had, other than Biker Mice from Mars? Yeah. And then
this is why we're best friends, We
it's fucking sick.
Stupid shit like that.
I've been waiting to do a quick mention of that. I was like, as soon as you mentioned Bike Ride, I was like, I need to mention Biker Mice from Mars.
I don't know if that's an obscure reference or not, because I feel like the Biker Mice from Mars were huge when I was little.
Yeah, it was massive.
I also feel like they're from the 80s, so I don't know.
Hang on, I can have a quick look for you.
Jamie, let's get a quick fact check if we can.
Yeah,
on the
get that up. Get that up. So, mate, it's a 7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, it should be higher.
So the first episode was in 1993 in America. Which I think that's the problem with when you grow up in the early 2000s in the UK. All of your TV shows are from like the late 90s in America. That's what we want. That's what it was. It was all.
There's
something here saying 2006 TV show. So was there another one?
This will probably air for the first time in Australia in 5 years' time, because they're even further behind.
Yeah.
Oh, what a synopsis, by the way! With hearts as big as their helmets, Throttle Vinny and Modo, the Biker Mice from Mars, are back and are ready to take on all evil doers. Fuck yeah.
So there was they did a new one. So there was one in the 90s and then there was one in 2000s for CRTV. For 2006, 2007.
Yeah, I think I see that. Co-produced by Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, hell yeah. This 28 episodes. Oh, this is sick. I might have the British Invasion. Hell yeah.
It might have to get watched. Anyway, the bike riders, and not the biker mice from Mars, looks really good. I'm very excited for it. So it looks a bit like...
The vibe looks pretty cool, actually. I've just been watching the trailer.
A bit like American Legend is how I would describe it so far.
Okay.
But no, I think it looks good. Fantastic cast. You know, we know
the cast is good.
It's
got Norman Reedus in it as well. You know, he looks good on a bike. Yeah.
You could have a movie about people riding bikes and wearing leather jackets and not cast Norman Reedus.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it looks alright. I'll definitely watch it. It looks like a movie that's actually going to be a movie. So not event cinema. It's not a blockbuster. It's going to be a movie. And hell yeah. I feel like the next one we're going to talk about is definitely more. It's a blockbuster.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them what it is?
Yeah. So it's Borderlands, and I'm not going to lie. I was never a big Borderlands fan anyway.
No.
And it looks like a lot of Borderlands fans aren't happy with this as well.
It looks like.
Yeah, it looks really shit. Kevin Hart just. I don't know what it is. Kevin Hart, for like a little bit of my life, I was like, oh, he's the funniest man in the fucking world. And then there's other bits where I'm just like, how the fuck has he done anything? Like, he's shit.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not exactly... I mean, Kate Blanchett's in it.
Yeah, they must have
Jamie Lee Curtis is in it.
So much
but it's
money.
Just... Bobby Lee's in it, Bobby Mom. Jack Black's in it, so maybe it will get saved. But maybe. I don't know if Jack Black can fix this. But, yeah, I mean, it looks... It looks like a movy. I'm not excited.
I won't be rushing on opening night.
This won't be. Yeah, it'll be a. If there's nothing else out when it comes out, I'll watch it then. It looks like it'll be one that's more suited to people that want to watch it at home.
Yeah,
it looks like it seems definitely more like a streamer movie than a. I mean, it might be good, but I've never been a big fan anyway. Anything can be good, but it just doesn't look good.
No, not in the slightest.
I'm not gonna lie. The costumes look okay. If I'm being honest, the costumes I think look pretty cool, but I feel like the Borderlands movie should have been done animated.
Yeah.
I don't think it should have been done live action. I think it should have been.
It'd suit that format much better.
Yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, I mean, it looks alright. I've actually got a bit of news that I want to bring in. So I don't know if it's been confirmed, but Herbie, the robot in Fantastic Four, there's been some rumours out this week, and I'm sorry for doing this now, but for some reason it just reminded me when I was talking about how it should have been like voiced instead of thing. There's rumours coming out this week that Ricky Gervais is going to voice him, and people are not happy with it.
I'm not happy.
The internet's gone like, no, please don't do this. This looks absolutely dreadful, and I just want to find out if it's actually been confirmed, because I don't know. I don't think he's got the voice for it.
No, I mean, for me, the obvious pick would be John Mulaney. I think he'd be fantastic in that role. And I do love John Mulaney. I think he's great.
So I'm having a quick little gander. So apparently he's reacted to it, actually. So look, shares hilarious reaction. This is going to take forever to get through because it's screen rant. Let me try and find the actual bit where he quotes. Oh, he just put, "Can I swear?" Wow, what a brilliant thing.
Well done, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, so it's just put, Marvel Studios reportedly interested in casting a comedian for the roles Herbie, and then Ricky Gervais has just put, "Can I swear?" And then the internet's gone mental because they're like, oh, well, why would he comment if it's not him? I don't know who I'd want to do it, but I feel like it needs a British accent, surely. I do feel like it needs a British accent. I don't know why, but
if it's going to be a British accent, it's got to be Richard Ayoade. But then you've done that in Mando.
Yeah, but it's a different property.
So is Pedro Pascal. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Richard
Why
Ayoade
not?
was RG. I forget which RG it was.
It wasn't the RG, was it? It was the. It's that weird. Is it the X? It's one of the C3 things, isn't it?
No,
one of the Imperial, it's one of the Imperial ones, wasn't it?
I think it was
like X Imperial.
I think it was the RG unit.
I thought think it was the RG unit. Oh my god, the director.
Thor.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, Matt Berry could do it. I could have Matt Berry.
Matt Berry'd be great.
What about Noel Fielding? What would you think about him doing it?
I'd rather have Matt Berry, but he would be good.
Yeah, I'd love Matt Berry to do it, actually. You know what? I want Matt Berry to do it. It's like, I'm not going to try and do the way he pronounces things, but yeah, I think he'd be sick. Oh yeah, or actually no, I know what I want. I want David Mitchell. I want David Mitchell from Peep Show. That's what I want to voice it.
Oh yeah,
I want to.
So he wasn't the RG unit, but he wasn't an Imperial droid either.
I know he was in a droid. He was in that Prison Break one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is that one. Yeah.
It looks similar to like those Imperial ones with like the weird head. Q90 is what he was.
I think Richard Ayoade would be great. Matt Berry would be fantastic, as long as he does like the full flamboyant voice.
Yeah. I think Matt Berry would be brilliant.
Good evening, gentlemen. Have you watched What We Do in the Shadows?
No, I haven't, but it's on my watch list. It is there.
He has.
I've seen the
line
clips of him talking. Yeah,
of any actor ever.
Toast.
Yeah.
My wife is not a prostitute.
Hello, Clem Fandango.
Alright, Clem Fandango.
Who the fuck is Clem Fandango? Anyway,
I ended up watching a scene from Toast where it's the one where he's talking about how he accidentally discovered the moon landings were fake.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the reason for why he's not done very well in comedy in Hollywood is because Stanley Kubrick was like, if you even hear about your name, I'll fucking kill you.
Honestly, just give Matt Berry first refusal of all roles. Honestly,
yeah.
I think I prefer him as Reed Richards, though, to be honest.
Oh, he's got the hair.
No, he has to be Victor Von Doom.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
He has to be Doctor Doom, right? But he keeps don't let him work out because he's quite small and he's not fat, but he's quite stocky. And I'm just imagining him this little short, stout Doctor Doom with just Matt Berry's voice coming out of him.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll have it. I'll gladly have that.
I think it'd be great. Now, Simo, shall we move on to the title segment of the show?
Do we have to?
Unfortunately, I think we do.
I think the less I think about this movie, the better I feel.
Yeah. But
Sydney Sweeney's in it, so
we'll get on to that. Well, let's move it on, Simo. Right after a quick word from the sponsor of this episode. Who Clothing is a fantastic new brand recently launched by two guys from Derbyshire in the UK who have a passion for sustainability, active living and looking damn good while you do it. Their goal is to craft fantastic products that give back to communities and individuals without being a burden to our planet. Their first product, the Trash Trooper Cap, is fully hand-stitched and made completely from fully recycled and upcycled materials. Who have teamed up with their sustainable partner Topiku to make sure that they are actually having a positive impact and have committed to driving sustainable environmental, social and economic growth in developing communities. Now, we don't just promote anything on this show, we only promote brands and products that we actually believe in, and I can say hands down that this Trash Trooper Cap is genuinely one of the best made and the comfiest products that I have used all year. Who are really transparent about their business practices, and if you'd like to learn more about how they operate ethically and sustainably, please do check them out on Instagram at WhoOfficialClothing. That is at HUOfficialClothing, and on all other social media platforms at WhoOfficial. Their website is also live now at www.whoofficialclothing.com. That is www.whoofficialclothing.com. huofficialclothing.com. Grab yourself a Trash Trooper cap and keep your eyes peeled for some exciting future drops. I saw on their Instagram the other day there might be a few more products on the way, which is very exciting. Check them out now and take the first step to making your wardrobe more sustainable for everyone. Thanks again to Who Clothing for sponsoring this episode. Now, Simo, the sooner we talk about this, the sooner we can no longer talk about it ever again.
Hell yeah.
So,
I hope we never have a second one.
No spoilers first. Madam Web.
Is anyone going to watch this? Are people worried about spoilers for this movie? I mean, I'm not sure what there is to spoil. I think the plot points are pretty thin.
Yeah, but we'll do spoilers later.
Okay.
I've got a brief synopsis here, Simo.
Okay, I can see it's Spider-Man. That's what it says on the thing.
You're trying to ruin one of my fantastic jokes that I have planned out for later on in the review there, Simo. But luckily, you butchered it, so we're going to move on. So, a brief rundown of Madam Web. Cassandra Webb is a New York City paramedic who starts to show signs of clairvoyance. Forced to confront revelations about her past, she must protect 3 young women from a mysterious adversary who wants them dead. Pretty accurate synopsis. But this
really
movie
forced
is
to confront the revelations issue, though. I feel like she could easily have still got to the same conclusion without doing any of what she does.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll just say off the top, this movie is absolutely dog water.
Yeah, it's shit.
The worst movie I've seen.
Not to watch
since
straight off
Morbius.
The bat.
Yeah.
See, Morbius actually felt alright compared to this.
Yeah, which is saying something because Morbius is a
felt
really
like a
bad
movie. Yeah, Morbius felt like a movie though.
Yeah,
it actually felt like a movie in the SPUMM universe. This didn't feel like it fit inside the SPUMM universe.
It was
at all.
I mean, we've said it before, but like in this episode, but it genuinely, the script was probably written by ChatGPT. Like the script
got to be.
Was that devoid of just any sort of character in the slightest. I mean, I feel bad for the cast because I feel like they're doing the best with what they can do, but when you've got like Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, and even they can't save your script with the fantastic actors that they are, it tells you how bad this movie is. I mean,
so one of the actresses has actually come out and said that the reason why it's not doing well is because men don't like to see women succeed in superhero movies. And I'm like, well, I mean, there are those people. You are right.
Captain Marvel made $1 billion.
But this isn't why your movie hasn't done well.
No.
It's because it's not good. I'm sorry. Like, we don't live in a society where we have to say everything's great and you're in it and I don't want to hurt your feelings. No, it was bad. You made a bad movie. It's shit. Like,
and I don't think it's but in no means the actor's fault. And I think Dakota Johnson, bless her. I think all the actors in this movie were tricked into thinking they were making an MCU project. I mean,
I think that's the case.
Dakota Johnson literally left her agency to go through another one after this movie. Like, I don't think that's a coincidence.
I'd do the same. Yeah, I'd do the same.
But it was completely devoid of any character, any emotion, good or bad. Action was appalling. The villain, who, he's the guy I feel most sorry for. The guy who plays Ezekiel Sims, who's the main villain of this movie, Tahar Rahim, because you never actually see him speak. Like, the camera, they've reshot it to move it around, and they've done all of his lines in ADR. So you could say he is like a bad version of Spider-Man called Spied ADR Man. Huh?
No. That awful line delivery below, was that how it was meant to be? Or is that... Oh, that wasn't for your joke. Oh, okay.
I mean, the effects are pretty bad in this as well. There's a CGI spider, a CGI that you see at the beginning, that is awful.
Nice. CGI, I don't like that. Yeah, I'll take that one. It's also really big.
And
it's just like...
there's quite literally a shot in it which is stolen from Spider-Man. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man it's the exact same shot. In terms of positives, Adam Scott is good. That's about it.
Yeah.
to be honest,
that's it. Yeah, that is it. Yeah.
It is. Like you said, sorry, go on.
I have two. There's two things that I like. These are nitpicky, really nitpicky. So, the first action scene is a ambulance, dashing through New York City. Slowest.
Yeah.
We was in 4D, and the seats were still.
Yeah.
It's that slow. And then another one is this is very nip. So there's a bit in the movie where they say that Britney Spears' song "Toxic" has just released, but yet somehow all of them know the words and dances to it straight off the bat. I don't believe it.
Yeah, poppycock.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
on the
a shit
4D
movie.
thing, I mean, we saw it in 4D. So if you've never done 4D, I'd recommend it. It's good fun for some movies.
Yeah, you need to pick the right movie for it.
Yeah, so like the atmosphere around you interacts with what you see on screen. So if you're in a car chase, the seats might move. If they're on a boat, you might get sprayed with water. If it's windy, they'll blow air at you. This movie is that devoid of any action whatsoever.
They also do smell-o-vision as well, but it's all the same smell.
This movie is that devoid of action that you could tell the programmers were watching the movie thinking, what do we do? There is that little that they programmed the seats to shake when a door opens. So every time a door opens, you get a little seat shake, and it's because there is that little action in it to actually incorporate 4D into it. And
it's just an awful movie, is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think the plot makes any sense.
No, not in the slightest.
So essentially, what kind of happens is, so she has a bit of an accident. It awakens her powers.
Mm-hmm.
But as this is happening, there's also 3 other people that the bad Spider-Man has dreamt is going to be his end.
Man.
Yes, Spady R-Man.
Spidey R-Man.
Spady R-Man.
Spidey R-Man.
Yeah, Spidey R-Man.
Spidey R-Man.
Yeah. This had something to... I think this had something to do with Spy ADR, man. Yeah, he has like a little vision that that like these 3 teenagers are going to kill him in the future when they have Spider-Man powers. But they just call them Spider powers in this. They've for some reason chosen the worst origins of Spider-Man for like his powers that they've ever done. Basically, he's then trying to kill these kids. He's like, I'm trying to kill these kids, which is a South Park reference. Sorry. How do I reach these kids? Also sounds like the character that plays Spy ADR Man. So he's just there in his little penthouse, like, how do I reach these kids? And then he finally finds them, but Sydney Sweeney's there to help, and the rest of the movie is just them hiding. But she then gets accused of kidnapping these kids. Just go to the police.
Yeah.
Just go to the police.
These are all 16, 17-year-old kids as well. They're not children.
And they're all of them are just saying, they're all like, yeah, okay, just go to the police, and be like, well, this guy's trying to kill him, and why not? And then she hides them forever. But it's all good though, because we see they make for no reason whatsoever, they just go, oh yeah, but Ben Parker's the best paramedic in New York City. Yeah. And it's like, why are you saying his full name there? You'll never say his full name there.
No.
And then there's a bit later on where they're like, oh, what do you reckon this baby's going to be called, eh? What do you reckon? Never say it.
No.
Obviously it's Peter Parker, but for some reason it's like...
spoilers?
No, I don't say that's a spoiler, because it's in the trailer.
Okay. Well, I think we need to get into spoilers anyway, because I have a few lines to discuss.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we'll do the quick rating first. We'll count down from 3. And we'll say whether it's to see or not to see. Are you ready?
I think I already said it, but yeah, let's do this.
3, 2, 1. not
to see. I'm goofing. Not to see.
Yeah, it's fucking dog water. Save
to be fair,
save
though,
your money.
If you have got an unlimited pass or an Odeon pass, and you want to have a bit of fun, you could probably make it into a drinking game. There's probably some way of having some fun with it in the cinema. So maybe have a laugh with it, because God knows I laughed many times at points that were meant to be serious.
Yeah,
and don't think I've been in a movie theatre where I've actually heard people sigh as well.
Yeah.
And there was a guy next to us who was just like...
Yeah, I spent most of it with just like holding my head. This is fucking dreadful. So from here on out, spoiler alarm. Hell yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So spoilers from here on out. Now, at the top, you might have seen an image circulating on social media relating to this movie, which says, all these events happen in Madam Web, except one. Can you guess which is a lie? So we have, Madam Web is born in a cave in Peru with the help of magic spider people. The 3 spider women never get their powers and are only seen in costumes during dream sequences. Evil Spider-Man, Spider-ADR Man, is killed by a large Pepsi sign. Madam Web becomes wanted for kidnapping by the NYPD. Madam Web runs down evil spy ADR Man in her car twice. Peter Parker is born, but not named. No, he's a baby. And Madam Web inexplicably splits into 3 ghost-like copies of herself near the end of the movie. Now, seeing as we're in spoilers, if you've not seen this movie and you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh my god, which one of those could it be? They're all fucking dreadful. It's every single one of them.
Yeah,
all of these are things that happen in this movie.
Yeah.
I can't explain any of it. The Pepsi brand deal is fucking atrocious.
It's very, very, very obvious. It's constantly, it's just like a can of Pepsi just in your face.
Yeah.
And it's bad. But that one, that just, the fact that the villain gets killed by a Pepsi sign.
Yeah.
That's just...
And that also...
too far.
So like, Madam Web in the comics is a disabled old woman who's also blind. They should have called this movie Madam Web Disability Origins, because the only thing that happens really is she gets disabled, paralysed and blinded by the same Pepsi sign that kills Spider-ADR Man.
The thing that makes... Right, so when Spider-ADR Man dies, he falls from a smaller height than we've already seen him fall from.
Yeah.
And like when he's falling, he's doing the old classic villain trope when he dropped. Yeah, and it's just like, bro, it's like 2 stories. You're a fucking spider person. Like you're gonna fucking we've seen you deal with worse in this movie.
Yeah, you've been hit by an ambulance twice.
Yeah, taxi.
Yeah, taxi and ambulance.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine. Like I don't think.
Yeah. And then a big Pepsi sign lands on him.
Yeah.
Madam Web is blinded by a firework goes off underwater and hits her in the face. It's just
bad. It's just
bad
really
movie.
bad. The costumes bad. The effects bad. The story plot bad. The way oh, bless you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Oh, I was like, see, that's a line in the movie. Just randomly goes, bless you. She goes, what for? And she's like, oh, thank you. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Also, it ends with Madam Web in a wheelchair, scooting towards a window and looking out of a window. Yeah. How have they forgotten that literally 2 minutes before that, she was blinded? So, fuck off.
I mean, there's a line in this movie. They refer to Spider-ADR Man as, is it ceiling guy? Because he can crawl on the ceiling.
No, I think at some point they go, wait, that's bad Spider-Man.
Yeah. And Sydney Sweeney's character, Julia Carpenter, is describing the villain. He's like, I don't know, he's some sort of like spider person. And they may as well be like a look to camera and a wink, like at that point.
I think there's quite a few times where that happens.
Yeah.
And you've actually just reminded me of a point that I want to bring in the what I've been watching that I'm going to mention later on. So carry on. Just talk about what you talk about. I'm just going to write this down so I don't forget it.
I mean, honestly, I felt sorry for myself watching this, but it's the cast that I feel sorry for. I mean, I imagine this being absolute hell to actually work on and to craft this movie. It feels like it's just been ripped apart and reshot.
Yeah.
And like the villain in particular, Tahar Rahim, I feel so bad for him because you literally don't see him speak. You just see panning shots
mouth
of him.
Move.
Yeah, but then it doesn't line up with the sound coming out of it. It's all just dubbed over. It's clearly like Sydney Sweeney was doing some press before it and talking about how she shot her scenes as Spider-Woman, which have all just clearly been cut and saved till the end for the dream sequence. And it's them I feel sorry for. Them and anyone else like us has sat through it.
I genuinely think we should get our money back for this movie. Like, I genuinely don't know how this has come out. I don't know how this is like who checks the movies before the release, because they clearly haven't fucking done their job. It genuinely is. Like it's shit. I don't know why it's been released.
It's like, infuriatingly bad.
It's not even like The Room sort of bad.
Yeah.
This is worse than The Room. Like this is like.
At least The Room is aware of what it is.
Well, I wouldn't even say Tommy Wiseau was aware of what he did, but like he didn't have the budget that this had.
Now.
And he's now. Like, he loves it now, and he says it was a comedy. But at the time, he was sad about the fact that people thought it was a comedy. But like, this is meant to be a big studio movie.
Yeah.
This is meant to be like an MCU movie for Sony. This is meant to be like a origin, like a Captain America, and it's just.
It's not.
I think I've seen Green Arrow episodes that like run rings around this.
Oh yeah.
And like CW episodes that run rings around this. This is just fucking dreadful. But I did like the bit where she went, "Hey, it's time to web some madams." And
I did enjoy that.
Yeah, I like that bit.
And
when it's madam time.
When the Spider
Woman
Women were like, "Why are we all connected to you?" And she was like, "Madam, you're in my web. Thank you very much."
I think it has something to do with a Madam Web. Yeah. I like that bit.
But I mean, like you've assembled a fantastic cast and got the square root of fuck all out of them.
But I'm also a bit worried for whoever actually did write this, because I just want to know, in this movie, all the Spider-Women are teenagers in school that are quite young. But for some reason they decided to add a scene, and I mentioned it earlier, to do with the toxicity when they're singing. But they're not just singing; they're on the table trying to impress a bunch of like jocks and lads by what is essentially they're dancing for the lads on the table. And it's just kind of
very deliberate shot of Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, you're kind of crossing a line here. Like, I get that the actual actors are older than what the characters
adults.
they're portraying, but what you've done there is you've got a kid that's
you're sexualizing a teenager is what you're doing.
Yeah, full on. Like there's no completely.
Yeah,
and it's just.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Sydney Sweeney is a beautiful woman, one of arguably one of the most attractive women in Hollywood. However, the audience should not be made aware of that when she is playing a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
If you want
not at all.
If you want to play on how beautiful Sydney Sweeney is,
go and watch All But You.
Well, cast her as an adult.
Yeah.
Cast her as a teenager and then sexualize her. And I don't necessarily agree with like overtly sexualizing characters for no reason. If it's a part of the character, sure. But her character in this is a nerd. She's like an uptight, self-conscious nerd who's a teenage girl.
To be fair, bro, I didn't really think that they were sexualizing her. I think that might be something in your head, bro. I think you're just looking at a nerdy teenager and you're just making connections.
I'm talking about that deliberate shot
I'm joking,
where she's climbing onto the table, and they basically upskirt her. There's basically a shot under her skirt of her getting onto the table. And
also the fact that she's a teenager in a very short skirt on a table stood above
Yeah.
people sat below her, and the way the dance scene was like, bro, that's a problem. Whoever wrote that, they should check their internet history, because they're definitely on Epstein's Island. Fucking
without a
definitely,
doubt. Yeah. I mean, just honestly, I went to the toilet like 40 minutes into this movie. I didn't even need the toilet. I just wanted to stop looking at this movie. And like, also, I went in, like, I did go for a wee and wash my hands, and then like just looked at myself in the mirror and thought, you could just leave. You could just leave. You've got your coat. You don't need anything.
I remember when you left, and when you came back, I was like, maybe I should just. I don't need one, but maybe I could. Maybe I could force one. You know.
That's literally what I did. I forced a wee to get out of watching this movie, and I came back down. And whenever me and Simo see a movie together, the rule is, if one of you goes for a wee, you have to fill the other one in on what they've missed. And Simo started telling me what I've missed. I just looked at him and went, I don't care.
I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like, I think it was like one of the major plot points, but it just made no sense anyway.
Yeah.
It's just.
Like, I'll stop you there, Simo. I don't care what I missed, to be honest with you.
One of the bits that just baffles me in this movie is like, she knows that her mum was researching spiders in like the 80s or whatever it was, and then this is the mum. They're just like, look, I'm looking for this spider that can heal people and give them special powers. And then the guy's like, you mean like the spider people in the jungle? He's like, no, don't be stupid. There's no such thing as spider people in the jungle. He's like, you've just explained that there's a spider that can give powers to people. And when I mentioned the people that are legend around here that use that spider, you go, no, don't be stupid. Also, it feels like at some point they was going to do that Ezekiel Sims was something to do with Madam Web's like parentage.
Yeah, it felt
because
that way, didn't it?
It doesn't explain the fact that like he does. It doesn't explain why he doesn't shoot her.
No.
Like, so there's a bit where he's like, she finds the spider, just straight after the bit where she's like, no, I can't find them, but maybe at some point I will. And then like straight away, like he's like, oh, I found one. It's like, oh, well, okay. And then he shoots everyone there, and then he's like, give me the spider. I don't want to shoot you. Give me the spider. And then he does shoot her eventually. But why don't you just shoot straight away?
Yeah.
Like, what?
It just
why?
doesn't make sense.
Why wait? Yeah. Why wait? And then the way that the rest of the sort of thing kind of lent, it was kind of like going to be a, oh, I'm your father sort of, but at some point, which I wouldn't be surprised if that was in it. I genuinely wouldn't.
But
it was shit.
We'll never get that time back. That's what annoys me the most. It was. Yeah. I literally came out of the cinema pissed off at what I'd watched.
Yeah,
but we knew it was going to be bad. But
I kind of didn't want to watch it. That's why I suggested we watched it in 4D. I just wanted something. I wanted just something in the movie. Yeah,
make it a worthy day out.
And it still didn't make it worth it.
No. Anyway, I think we've summed up Madam Web as good as we can do. It's bad, basically. That's the top and bottom of it. Maybe we should create a drinking game for it. That could be quite a fun. Maybe we do a commentary when it's on streaming and
do
that.
I think we could easily do it.
If that's something you'd like to know, like you'd like to see, let us know. Now, Simo, shall we move on?
Yes, let's move on.
Okay, so now is our next segment called Between Two Droids. If you're new to the show, the way this segment works, we both come armed with a hot take each. We get a couple of minutes just to talk through it, rationalise it, and then the job, or the aim, is to convince the other co-host to agree with us. Now, Simo, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
Okay. So my hot take, and I don't really know if it is a hot take or not, but I'm going to go with it. My hot take is that I want to cancel Netflix. So I'm here today to convince you to cancel your Netflix subscription.
Well, I'm actually on the precipice of whether or not I keep it or not, because it feels like it's a dying platform.
So I have sort of three main pillars of argument here. One is quality of content, in that I think since Netflix have been churning out their original things, I think I could count on one hand things that I've actually enjoyed or that were good. They're two
Yeah.
separate things. Enjoying something and something being good are two very different things.
Yeah.
The second one is price. My Netflix subscription now costs me nearly £30 a month. Granted, I do have my mum on as an additional household that she pays me for, but the amount I'm paying monthly, I don't think I'm getting the value out of the content that they're producing. The value I get from the Netflix content is stuff that other people have made, and it is now just on Netflix.
They've
also
forgotten where their place is. Like the whole point of Netflix was it was meant to be, you can get everything here on this one place. It's cheap.
And I know it's all market
anything else.
proliferation. Everyone wants their own slice of the pie. I get that, but they're also putting the prices up again this year. So like before I know it, I'm going to be paying the price of like a Sky or cable if you're in America subscription for fucking Netflix. It's stupid. Realistically, my third and final point is that I don't think there's anything on Netflix that I can't source elsewhere. Like if I think I should cancel my Netflix subscription, and if there's a series I want to watch, I'll buy it on Amazon or on Apple, or I'll rent it, because it's going to be way cheaper and way more valuable that way than just doing Netflix.
I think I agree with it. I mean, I end up watching. I can't remember the last time I watched something on Netflix. To be fair, but like normally it used to be what I used to watch sitcoms on. Yeah. But like Disney now, I've got all the sitcoms that I used to watch on Netflix.
Yeah, or Prime.
Prime have got all the other ones, and then it's like, and then when I'll end up watching like Peep Show on there, but I can watch that somewhere else. I just have to watch an advert. But that's also one of the things that pissed me off is Prime Video just all of a sudden just started doing adverts.
Yeah.
So like I was watching something the other day and I had to, you need to watch these two adverts before, and I was like, what?
They might be getting sued for that.
Why is this? Yeah, because like they didn't change anything. It just all of a sudden happened. Just adverts came on.
I was reading about why they might be getting sued, and they basically brought it out so that they're now showing adverts, and if you want an ad-free subscription, you have to pay. I think in the UK it's an additional £2 or £3 a month.
Yeah, but it should be the other way. So the one I'm paying for should be the premium one, and then something they should go. But if you don't want adverts, you have to keep on this one. But if you wanted a cheaper one that had adverts, you go to this one.
The issue is that it has always been sold as an ad-free system. It's always been ad-free. And Amazon are now trying to retroactively charge consumers for a product that they've already been paying for. So it'd be like if you bought a phone on finance and you paid for your phone monthly, and then they went, well, if you want to use your phone now, you actually have to pay a little bit more. It's like, well, no, because I've already technically bought it. I mean, finance isn't the best way to compare them because you haven't kind of bought it.
And it does change anyway. But
but you see the principle here. So I hope Amazon gets sued.
Fuck them
for that. I'm not paying extra for you. Fuck you.
They don't need the money. They don't need the money. They
also
don't need it.
Amazon have now started removing things from the library, which is fine if it's on streaming, but they've been removing it from purchased things
and put it
So, well, if purchase no longer equals ownership, if I can buy something on Amazon and I own that, but then they can just remove it from my library and I don't have that anymore.
Oh wait, what have they been removing? Because I remember back in the day where there was a lot of movies that never used to be on there, and I bought a lot of them, and some of them did end up going to Prime and stuff like that. So if they get rid of them, well, no, why? The whole point of it was meant to be just a digital library where I can buy the movies that are there,
which in theory it is until they remove things.
Yeah.
But then if that's the case,
they remove it.
If purchase no longer equals ownership, then piracy isn't a crime. And that's not really the sort of thing as a streaming service you want to be promoting.
I think that's another thing with streaming services. I think they forget that like people started buying movies again because it was simple and easy.
Yeah,
we will all go back to piracy if it needs be.
Even then,
like,
I'll go back to physical media. I love physical media as a format. I'll go back.
Like if it becomes cheaper to go to I used to love going to HMV and looking for DVDs.
Yeah. I used to
and then
love buying them in supermarkets.
And then,
'Cause-
oh wait, hang on. There's 3 movies. I can get 3 movies for a tenner. Hell yeah!
Yeah,
I'll have a
yeah.
look around, see what there is.
Well, I'd always
love that.
My mum always used to take us food shopping on like a Saturday or like after school, and
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
like, oh, Mum, you go do the shopping, and I'd scurry off and look at DVDs and CDs.
Yeah,
and,
it'd be the DVD aisle and then to the toy aisle. That was the
yeah, that was the
yeah,
game,
yeah,
right?
hell yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's my hot take, is that I want to cancel Netflix and streaming
you
is
know
the
what?
death of art.
I think I might join. I am thinking of deleting.
Yeah, I think that's the first one in like this year that you've agreed on me with.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Come on, the boy. I had to leverage the whole movement of cinema against him to get him to agree.
I mean, I just need to not be lazy with it and just be like, you know what, I'll just, when Stranger Things 5 comes out, I'll just get it again for the month and then get rid of it again. It's like, yeah. Or I'll just pirate movies. I don't care.
Oh, you might allegedly pirate movies.
I'll have you know, I am the best pirate you've ever heard of.
Take what you can.
But I wouldn't steal. I tell you what though, I would not steal a handbag or a car.
No.
But you know what? I would steal from a $1 billion company.
Yeah.
I would.
That doesn't pay taxes in the UK. I'd like to point out.
Of course I would. You know, you treat your workers like shit.
Yeah.
Of course I'll steal from you.
You happy send the union busters in to the fulfillment centres, don't you, Jeff? Yeah, that's right, Jeff. I'm calling you out. I'll name you.
Yeah, you bald bastard.
Yeah, you prick.
He could play Kong's donk. He's got a fucking ball bag on his head, hasn't he?
No, but this is a beloved character that we're talking about here. In Kong's donk.
That's true.
It needs to go to someone that respects art and is not trying to suck the life out of the human race.
Right, so my hot take. I don't know if it's a hot take really, but some people I've seen. There's a few directors that have called Dune 2 Empire Strikes Back, and a few people said that Dune 1 was stealing from Star Wars. Now, my take is Star Wars stole from Dune, and I'm gonna take you through this because Dune was written in 1967 or released in 1967?
I can tell you. Bear with me. I can tell you when it was first published.
There's a few things here.
I
There's
have
a
the
few
book
things
right
here. Yeah, hell yeah. So when was it first published? I think it was 67 or 68.
First published in 66.
66. So I was 1 year. You know what? That makes it even worse. What I'm about to say.
So first published in Great Britain in 66. The copyright is attributed to 65.
Okay, so goes back even further then. That's right. So in there, there's a practice that So there's the voice, which is the Force. There's a sand planet, which on it has a group of natives which keep attacking certain mining groups and stuff like that. The Tusken Raiders. There is I don't know if you noticed, but in Star Wars it was going to be called the Bendu.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be the Bendu. One of the practices, before Star. Yeah, it even says on the back of the book before Star Wars. So yeah, there's more. I'm going to keep going. There is more.
Yeah, keep reeling.
So I can't remember the name of the pronunciation of the religious group in Dune.
The Bene Gesserit.
Yeah, the Bene Gesserit. So they have a practice called the Bendu. It's something Bendu. So they George Lucas was literally like, I'm going to call something. It's something Bendu is one of the practices that they do. But also there's the Bene Gesserit, which are an all-powerful religious group which are tied to the Emperor. Also, it's it's a global conflict that's centered around an evil emperor. So then there's that. There's a certain chemical on the planet called spice.
Melange.
Then you've also got in Star Wars spice. It's just same thing. There's sand crawlers in Dune, which harvest said spice, and the Jawas also use a sand crawler, which is noted in Star Wars in the novelization and stuff like that as being from an ex-mining colony. So it's the same thing. But yeah, there's so many things to do with the planet and stuff like that. And the what was his name who wrote Dune?
Frank Herbert.
Was actually at some point was going to sue George Lucas, because it's the same thing. Just A New Hope is Dune, just taken slightly in a different way. At least the start of it is Dune, in some of the aspects. And yeah, I completely get. And then when people are now saying that Denis Villeneuve's the new movie is akin to Empire Strikes Back, it's kind of like, yeah, but Star Wars is akin to Dune. So, but I guess you can say that for most things. But I just thought Star Wars ripped off Dune.
Yeah, I mean it did. Why?
Yeah, it did.
There's no doubt. Like it did.
It's just the fact that like it was
20 years
like,
before.
Yeah,
Well,
it's some, 10 years.
15, give or take. But.
It's the fact that like some of the words were going to be like the same when like with the Bene Gesserit, with the fact they have a practice called the Bendu,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, right, Bendu. Why
Even
not?
like
And they still use Bendu in Star Wars as well.
I don't want to go too far in terms of spoilers, but Paul Atreides is a character.
Okay, right. Okay, so I'm actually going to talk to you about it because that was the spoiler that I was trying to warn you about. So
It says it on page 1 of the book.
oh, does it? Oh,
Pretty
yeah,
much, yeah.
So Paul Atreides, for those who don't, and spoiler.
Well, spoiler warning, Doom Part 2
Yeah.
is out today, so spoilers for Doom Part 2.
I don't know if it's going to show in Doom Part 2, but it kind of looks like it kind of does in some of the trailers. But he bad, you know.
Yeah.
Like he's a good guy that's meant to be this all-starring hero, and he falls. But to be fair, they do show that in the first movie. If you actually pay attention in the movie, they do show it. Like he becomes an all-conquering it's like I don't know, like a god, but like he like brings planets to their knees and shit like that.
Yeah, he's not a great guy, sort of, after the first book in Dune.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you, Simo, just because your hot take is fact. You know, it's factual, I guess.
I'm not sure like people, but because
how hot it was as a take, given that it is just fact. But
well, it's just the fact that like you've got like people like Christopher Nolan saying that this movie is very Empire Strikes Back, and it's just like, yeah, but you know, Star Wars is Dune. So what do you want?
Yeah, no,
but I'm actually just on that. So we're going into our next bit, aren't we? Which is what we're watching. And can I just jump through into it? So I rewatched Dune Part 1 last night in IMAX because they were doing basically that started at fucking 10 to 9, finished at 12, or just before 12, so then people could have a little break, and then people were going back in to watch the next one, the new one. And I've forgotten how good that movie is.
It's so good. It's
incredible. It is like I'd say it's this era's Lord of the Rings, and this era's like Star Wars. We've been trying to book it in to watch Dune 2 today in IMAX, and we're going to watching it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow morning. Yeah.
But we just got these tickets. Like it's been sold out for like all week, and there's just 2 tickets. They're in like an okay place.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we need to see it. So
yeah, we've got to record an episode on it.
Hell yeah. But I'm actually really excited. I've not been excited for a movie. Like I've been planning my day around how I can make the day go quicker so I can go and watch it tomorrow. Like I'm actually really excited.
It at 10 to 12 in the morning. Yeah. There's not much of the day before.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited for this movie. Oh, yeah, but we're not gonna come out until like 3:30. So.
Yeah, true. Big gym session after.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, push.
Can't get these one ab without doing that.
Exactly, dude.
Although we're not gonna get them anyway doing push day, but you know.
No. But
what are we kidding? Listeners don't do push day. You listen to a comic book podcast.
Anyway, so what have you been watching?
So obviously Dune Part 1. I've also been to the cinema a few times. I watched Wicked Little Letters. Genuinely incredible. Olivia Colman. It's funny, and it's like an old British comedy, but it's got some dark undertones to it. So basically, I don't want to make any spoilers, but it's kind of going along the lines of it's just after the suffragette, or just as the suffragette's going on. So there's some women there's a woman that's kind of oppressed by her father, And then there's another woman that's more free out there, free thinking and more modern. And it's kind of like their little relationship. One of them's getting sent horrible letters, and it's like a little detective drama at some points on how that, because it's pinned on the free thinking woman, but we know that that's not the case, and that's really cool. It's really fun. I've also watched the Bob Marley movie, which I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be better. Nothing against the way it was made, but if you're going to do a Bob Marley movie, I don't cast someone who doesn't know how to play guitar or doesn't sing, because in the main bits where it is him singing, Bob Marley singing, it's clearly just the original track. But then there are scenes where he's like practicing a song in his house, and it's actually him singing, like he's really singing, and it sounds completely different. And then whenever he's playing guitar, it's literally just got his hands, like he's not even strumming it. Like he's not even strumming it. But he did say that before he made it, that he doesn't play guitar. But hey ho. But right, Master of the Air. Watched it today, and like you said earlier, there's a scene in in Madam Web where she just goes kind of like a spider person, and then looked at the camera. So in today's episode, they're in a. It's not really spoilers, but it's coming from a concentration camp in World War II, and it's in March of 1944. Mm-hmm. Now, in March 1944, in a German concentration camp, there was a Great Escape. Mm. Now, during this episode, there's a bit where loads of Germans run off, and they're like, where the hell are they going? And then the next day, they're like, a load of Brits dug 3 tunnels and escaped. 80 people escaped. And then all the officers of the Americans get brought into the Germans' Luftwaffe's office, and he's like, right, this so-called Great Escape... just like, and then it's like no one says anything for like 5 seconds afterwards. They just linger on the words "the Great Escape." I'm just like, it's the same thing. There's like, see what we did there? Because you thought it was that, and now you know? Like I was just expecting them to start whistling at the time, and like I was the whole shebang I was waiting for. But yeah, just it took me out of the entire thing. Like, could you imagine like you're watching like Band of Brothers, and then all of a sudden they just what about that D-Day, huh? You know, just said like something stupid like that, and it took me out of it. Just the way they, you just went, but yeah, where are those guys off? Oh, they're just off to save someone called Ryan. You know, that's what it'd be like. It was just like, come on. But yeah, good episode though. Really enjoyed it.
Nice,
incredible
it is on
show
my
so
list
far
to watch. So what have I been watching this week? Well, I've started reading the novel of Doom.
Hell yeah.
Just making me respect Denis Villeneuve even more, because how the fuck he's adapted this book. Like, it's a fantastic book, but how he's adapted it to the level he has, I honestly do not know. I also rewatched Doom Part 1. Going to do it again tonight before the Doom Part 2 tomorrow. I watched the new Grand Tour special, which was it was good, but
I enjoyed it, but I think the jokes are too.
Yeah, it was always better when it was like less scripted. Sort of thing.
It was always scripted, but it was just like the situations they were in felt real.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, they're like, the Ebola cave. Like,
yeah, it's much more now. I'm also I watched X-Men Days of Future Past. Don't know why.
I kind of like that one, if I'm being honest.
It's nowhere near as good as First Class.
First Class is the best one they've ever done.
First Class is hands down the best X-Men movie.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not even close either.
Yeah, there's no question on that one. It's incredible. But I do like Days of Future Past.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary.
It's very good.
Me and him are very similar in quite a couple of different ways. I don't want to say anything, also one episode into the Avatar Netflix show, which
I haven't watched that one. I don't know if I'm going to, if I'm being honest.
I mean,
I've seen bad things.
I never watched the anime as a child, so I've got like zero skin in the game.
Is it an anime or is it just animation? Is it?
I think it's probably classed as anime. But I'm watching it with one of my housemates who watched the show when he was a kid, and he's like fucking chuntering his way through it. I'm like, this is quite good. But I also you know, I'm not aware of the source material the way that he is.
Yeah.
So I get that. But yeah, that's about it for my watching this week. Now, Simo, shall we move it on to the final segment of the show?
Let's move on to the final segment of the show.
Which is, of course, on this No Questions Asked podcast, some questions asked. Now, we have a question here from a response from our last episode.
Okay.
Which is, you said you were worried for Deadpool 3. Are you worried about any other Marvel properties?
Blade.
All of them?
Yeah.
Honestly,
I can say.
At this point.
I don't think I'm worried about Fantastic Four.
Oh, I am, definitely.
I'm not worried about Fantastic Four, but I'm worried about everything else. Yeah, I am worried about everything. But then again, I don't really know what else is coming out, because I think that they've cancelled a few more things now. Like, I swear Ironheart's been cancelled. I swear they've said that a lot of the TV shows are gone, other than is it Agatha Harkness and Daredevil. I'm not worried about Daredevil.
Oh, I'm probably the most worried about Daredevil, but that's just because I love the character so much that my expectations are higher than normal for Daredevil than they are for anything else.
There's been some like leaked set photos of like Punisher and stuff like that, and of them with Foggy and Karen and Echo. I think Echo did well. I enjoyed Echo, and it had that sort of similar vibe to the original Daredevil. So I think that's the only one I'm not worried about. But yeah, I am worried about Deadpool. I am massively worried about Deadpool.
It's just it's like when your football team's not in form, and it's like I know they can do it, but they're not doing it at the moment.
And we've put a lot of effort into it. It just feels like everything's just been cheap.
Yeah.
Since Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels cheap. Nothing feels like it has that light anymore. And then maybe just because that's it, it's done. Maybe it's ran its course.
But nothing's ever really done.
Yeah, maybe superhero movies are just on their way out. Like they had the actions of the 80s and the 90s. Maybe
we say this every time, but then until we get a good one, and then it's fine, you know.
And then cinema's back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all bad until we get another good one, and then it's fine.
But I think with the MCU, it's not about just getting another good one. There needs to be multiple good ones in a year.
Yeah, it's the issue with having a combined universe is that the whole universe suffers for poor quality. You know, you're judging the product as a whole and not just a movie. It's how that movie then reflects on the rest of your fucking universe that you've built.
I would love to be able to rewatch all of the MCU with a fresh brain, as if I've never watched it before, and like with the hype of waiting for the next ones for that. But like, I've seen quite a few people saying like, I've seen a few memes to do and a few videos on TikTok where it's like, oh, can you remember when we all used to like learn everything about a Marvel character and like all its origins and everything like this and that, so we could be like, when we went into a movie we understood it more when we were a bit more, and it's like, and no one does it now. It's just like because no one gives a shit, because it's kind of it's probably gonna be shit anyway.
Yeah. They were the days. But I mean, I can remember being in secondary school and being like 12 and talking about like Avengers Infinity War, which came out when I was like closer to being an adult than I was a child, you know? Yeah,
it was like, oh, Thanos is here. Oh, hell, it's like fucking, whoa.
Yeah,
it's gonna be sick, bro. We're gonna get Infinity War.
I'm worried about most of them. Now, Simmer, I think that's the show, but we have a review here. This is a review from Rashim on YouTube. If you're not aware, we also post all of our podcasts to YouTube. Go out there, head out, check them out, have a look. Two Droids podcast. A lovely little comment from Rashim, who said, "Good video." And to that, I say thank you, Rashim. I think
you should read that as it's punctuated.
What? Good video.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's got an exclamation mark on the end.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Rashim. And yeah, check us out on YouTube. Do you want to tell them where else they can find us, Simmer?
Yeah, you can find us on Twitter at the Two Droids Pod.
Oh yeah.
At Gmail at Two Droids Pod.
We've been active on the Twitter
gmail.com.
this week.
You can also we have got a TikTok account, but no videos or anything like that posted to it.
No,
there is an account.
we're working on it. We promise.
I completely forgot there was one, and then I accidentally went to a Switch account bit, and I was like, when did we do this?
Ah.
But we have got one on there.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
well, we're active on Twitter now. We're working on clips. We're trying, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Send through what you want. Any questions, queries,
Yeah.
anything you're worried about, any movies you like. If you like Madam Web, let us know, because I want to know
I'm gonna hunt you
everyone
down.
that liked it. Yeah, and make sure that you never ever reproduce.
Yeah. Just blame you for ruining cinema.
Yeah, you're the sole reason we have to rely on Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Because of you.
He's coming for you. Tom Cruise will get you.
Yeah, you'll hear his little taps.
Yeah.
Little patters as he's on his way to you.
Yeah.
So,
what a little boy.
yeah.
Cool little fella. But yeah, I think that's it, Simo.
That's it. I'm gonna go and have a pizza. I've got an oven pizza to cook.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
Enjoy.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's a pepperoni. Pepperoni stone
And
is what it is.
what
From
are you
the Co-op.
What are you doing tomorrow?
No, because we're gonna watch Dune.
We're gonna see Dune tomorrow. Yeah.
So
next week's
we're gonna watch
episode
Dune.
will be Dune. So
Yeah, and I think I might
Oh,
do
yeah.
something in the morning so I can justify having a hot dog and a big bag of popcorn.
yeah,
Because
the cinema is
it's
back,
a long
baby.
movie. It's a long movie, and
Yeah.
I want to be making as much noise with popcorn
And, you
during
know,
the quiet bits. To be fair, there was a bit
It's
yesterday.
dog sucking season.
It is. It's a bad day to be a glizzy.
Hell yeah, it is.
So there's a bit where it goes really, really quiet. I think it's one of the first time he uses the voice in the movie,
Yeah,
and genuinely, there was I've told you there was someone sat next to me who just kept making loads of noise, rustling with paper and ripping paper, and I thought there might be something something behind the scenes for why he was constantly moving stuff like that. It's
Right,
because he drank
it was only
two
Practical
fucking
Jokers.
Yeah, it's because he drank 2 fucking Red Bulls in the space of 10 minutes. But not just like a normal person. He was shaking them up. And then I was like, if he opens that and he goes on me, I'm fucking killing him.
Well,
he looked like a
enjoy kidney
Wish.com
stones.
version
That's all I'm
of
gonna say.
what's his name now? The fucking sniper. Fucking best friends with Kim Jong Un and Putin and all that. I can't remember his name. But he was making those noise, and then there's a bit where it goes quiet, and I've never seen a cinema where genuinely you can hear people rustling, and then as soon as it went quiet, you could hear the rustling just everyone stopped. Everyone stopped, and I was like, hell yeah, this is cinema.
Hell yeah, it is.
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, that's it. I want to go. I want to have
Yeah.
a pizza.
thank you for your time, Simo. Thank you for listening, as always. Drop us a line, a query, a review. Let us know. You can rate this show 5 stars as easily as just doing it in app.
No one's rating this 5 stars.
Hey, we have only 5 stars. I'd like you to know. We have
That's
only
true,
5-star
actually.
ratings.
Hey,
Um,
and we actually charted in Australia 2 months ago. So
We're still there.
hell yeah.
You can rate 5 stars in app. It's that easy to do. Anyone could do it. Thank you, Simo. Thank you to the listener for, of
Thank
course,
you.
listening.
That's all right.
And as always, thank you to Who Clothing for sponsoring this episode. We will see you next week with a review of Dune Part 2. Until then, stay out of those webs, madam.
Madam Webbin.
It's webbing time.